Hello, and welcome back to Will a Wonderful World. We are currently still lost on everything we need to do, but, well, we've got to find out how to solve things somewhere, so I guess it's just a matter of cleaning up things. I recall when Zoren finding out he has stomach cancer being the correct answer for this. For some reason, Rocky's is turned from yellow to white, which could be just to differentiate from Spotty's. And yeah, we're still stuck on the two police officers as well. So where do we start? We've got a lot of Jimmys that aren't full. Let's do the history for, right, so both of them have one correct and one wrong. So, yep. Right, bad and bad. Bad and bad. I guess. So we can't... There we go. The ball hit the forehead of the tank top guy exactly as I wanted, but it bounced off and fell softly onto the ground. The guy stumbled and fell to the ground. Before the second man realised what had happened, I sprinted towards him as fast as I could. I smashed his head with my racket with all my strength. Then I grabbed Mr. Wren's hand and ran towards the end of the alley. But I didn't see the first guy had already stood back up. I felt like Mr. Wren had let go of my hand and thrown his entire body onto my back. Then I slowly felt I felt him slowly collapsing onto the ground. I turned around and Mr. Wren was lying on the ground unconscious. There was a pool of blood. It was getting larger and larger. Mr. Wren had been hospitalized afterwards. Since he couldn't teach for a long time, he lost his job as well. I shuddered a little before I realised the ball was already right in front of me. I was so startled that I had awkwardly blocked the ball with the racket. And I happened to hit the ball. The ball was too quick and it bounced off up high in the air. It was a perfect parabola, I'm assuming. And then it hit an old man who was practicing nearby. He ran over to me angrily and started yelling. I kept bowing and apologising. I was nodding like a pecking hen. People in the real world are scary. Well, clearly he needs to learn it was an accident. That's ranked A. Pardon. And then we just... So there should be the full correct answers for all of them, I guess. So... the ball was blown off its path by the wind and fell softly to the ground. Mr. Wren noticed me. So did the two robbers. The tank top guy took one step towards me, and I began to picture how they would force me into the corner, pull out a chainsaw and from behind them, and cut me into pieces. Oh no, I couldn't stay there any longer. Mr. Wren, you can fight them. I screamed silently in my head, and I ran away with my hands covering my face, leaving Mr. Wren there by himself. The next day, Mr. Wren came back. The next day, Mr. Wren came back to school. He didn't seem hurt either. Although I couldn't imagine how he'd gotten away, I was really happy that everything was okay. However, I didn't have the courage to go back to the art class anymore. Before I realised, the ball had hit me right in the forehead. It was so fast that it was sure to cause some serious damage if it hit someone. And it would be worse if it hit someone in the head. In any case, I don't remember anything afterwards. They told me that someone else practicing on the court had called an ambulance for me. There are good people in this world, I suppose. Or it must have been because I had been such a great person every day. That must have been what they called good karma. How is that worse than the other one? At least, like, no one died in this ending. Okay, so that's 3. So this is the last one for Jimmy. Let's see if we can get anything else for Jimmy. What's the histories? We got S&S and... Sorry, so 3 and 2. Let's go. Let's start with nothing. There we go. I don't know why I've left so many nothings around. Right, left. Right. Right. Left. Crap, I was going to throw up. I couldn't hold it anymore. Pulled off the VR gear and tossed it onto my bed. I held my hands to my chest and tried to breathe in some fresh air before I realised there was none in our room. Rocky was already awake. He was sitting over on his side, munching on his chips, which was probably his breakfast. He kept staring at me. Did you know that you look like an idiot right now? I walked over and vomited into his bag of chips. That's just rude. That's absolutely rude. That's my business. Mind your own. The bag wasn't big enough for the spicy pot dinner I had last night. This is just gross. It was soon filled with my vomit, and the rest of it spilled onto Rocky. Jimmy... He was in so much shock that he didn't even scream. Perhaps they were desperate to try and stay awake. The two guards even started watching stuff together on their phone. Just in case our legs were too stiff to run, the muscle man and I quietly shifted around a bit to loosen up our legs. A lot of noises were coming from the outside of the warehouse. It sounded a lot like a lot of people in cars. At the same moment, the minute hand had also hit 12. We both stood up and ran towards the back of the warehouse. By the time the two guards noticed we were gone, we'd already taken cover behind the cargo containers. Any time now. Just a little longer. The guard with the gun was walking towards the back of the warehouse, and the other one was behind him. And he stole a little longer, and we couldn't let them come any closer. The man raised the gun that I had given him. The first shot hit the shelf near the guards. The second shot hit the ground. After we ran out of bullets, we were captured. That was a mistake. I was counting on him to defend himself with a gun. I should have kept it for myself. Okay. Then let me just move everything over to this one. Nope, bad and bad. just like 6 years ago. Okay, so there's no second S. But there's a lot of bad endings. Okay. I'm assuming we've done this one, right? We have. That's your S rank. S rank. S rank. A rank. There we go. Alright, just in case Like's too stiff to run. A lot of noise is coming out of the warehouse. 2 guards were wide awake now. Multiple gunshots have been... Okay. Yeah. But you don't have the gun this time. And he calls us an idiot. Hiding was pointless for me, even without a gun. Those two didn't stand a chance against me. After the 2 guards met their gruesome deaths, I caught the muscular man in my sight. This would have worried me the most. The muscular man was holding my Glock 43, but he was hesitating. What were you waiting for? Fire. Haven't I made it abundantly clear to you before? I was screaming in anger in the small dark room, but no one in the real world could hear me. I grabbed his head with both hands. Stop. With my strength, his neck twisted in a full 360 degrees. It's like the others. His body crumpled down to the ground. There's nothing I could do but watch. Yeah. That's gruesome. Oh, well then. So that should be all of Jimmy's. No, it's not. Okay then. Which one are we missing? Oh, there you go. Boom. Problem solved. After playing 10 songs, I was completely exhausted. I couldn't move my hands anymore. I took off the gear and realized that Rocky had been up. He was wearing smart glasses that I bought him a while ago, and was looking right in my direction. My eyes widened in shock, and I realized the recording light blinking on the glasses. I hurried over to my computer, logged onto the streaming website, and checked my channel. Oh gosh, everything had been broadcast. Luckily, there were only 5,000 viewers. Only. Most comments were things like, "So stupid, this guy's so uncoordinated. Your games are not meant to be streamed, alright?" Thank God I haven't been playing that other game. Yep. I glanced over to my drawer, congratulating myself quietly. I suppose that was the silver lining. There we go. All of Jimmy's. Even the split timeline. So you do not cause anything else to happen. Let's go with no, can't. There we go. There's only one missing for this one. What's missing for? So it's just the single one that we're looking for. Okay. Have I done it with nothing? I have. Okay. So now I need a combination of 2 at least. Found it. Cool. I accidentally knocked down a ladder that had been put against the wall. The guard in the room woke up and he stumbled into the hallway, still quite sleepy. I suddenly had an idea. Hands up, don't make a sound or I'll shoot. I pointed the gun at his head. I knew there were no bullets, but maybe he didn't. Maybe he had forgotten. He slowly walked towards me. He grabbed the gun with one hand and took it out of my grasp. He had no hesitation. I was kidding myself. He dragged me back to the room. This time, he cuffed up my feet so that I wouldn't be able to escape again. Julie's body was still lying there. The flies began hovering around her face. But then they didn't seem to have any intention of cleaning up the scene. Would I end up like Julie? Was that my final destiny? Guess not. Okay. But you've got a few options for you. Let's go with this one, because you've only got one. Hold on, history. So either a B or a fail, and just failures for the police officer. Okay, let's swap these around, see if there's... Nope. A few days later, I came back to Melody Hall. They put a list of people who had been hired at the entrance. My name wasn't on the list. I hadn't eaten anything in 2 days. My stomach didn't even have the energy to rumble anymore. I dragged my drained body with me, wandering along the Hong Kong streets like a ghost, and kept looking for a job. My erection had been slowed down because of the alcohol. The young man who had just come out of the stall snatched my phone out of my hand. I was about to take it back when I felt my hair get pulled from behind, along with the sharp cold on my neck. Don't move, don't make any sounds, otherwise, you know the deal. The voice sounded extremely familiar, but I couldn't place it. It blindfolded me, and I felt myself being led into outside the bar. I felt myself being thrown into a vehicle. Then I passed out as soon as I smelled something strange. When I woke up, I found myself in a big bag, empty warehouse. Big bag, okay, pulling words out of nowhere. The gate had been locked from the outside. I could see the evening stars through the windows above the wall. Oh man, how long had I been out for? Was Lieutenant Kang already at the port? And then we just try... I turned around, it was Officer Min Jun. Thank God you are here. Before I could finish my sentence, the young man who had just come out of the stall had sneaked up behind me. He grabbed my hair and slammed it into the mirror above the sink. Clink. The mirror was smashed, and there was a broken glass all over the ground. Just before I passed out, I heard someone saying, "You dirty cop, are you trying to snitch on our own turf?" Scream, what? I could still see Officer Min Jun in the corner of my eye. He was standing in the bathroom next to me and just stared at me without any expression on his face. When I woke up, I found myself lying on in a big empty warehouse. The gate was locked on the outside, and I could even see the stars through the window above. Officer Min Jun wasn't there with me. Why hadn't he helped me so he's undercover? I reached into my pocket, hoping to take the time on my phone, but it wasn't there on me. It was obviously, it had probably been taken away by someone. Damn it. Was Lieutenant Kang already at the port? Okay, the only one that you do not have, I guess, it's... One. Say history. So yes, because it needs to be changed by a different timeline, I guess. And you've got all your answers. So let's start, I guess. Simple enough, just swapping them around a bit. Nothing at all. Okay, there we go, that's one. Who the hell could be calling calling me at this for godforsaken moment? I turned around and answered my phone quietly. It was Lieutenant Kang. Lieutenant briefly asked me about the situation and told me to hand over the phone over to the husband. It was the Bung Bung Gang, what? Is it true? Oh my. Oh my, that's wonderful, thank you. And he starts crying. He hung up the phone and dropped the knife and hugged his wife, sobbing uncontrollably. So it's all okay now. We can have our lives back. I'm sorry, I'm really sorry. It was all my fault. What had just happened? I took my phone back from the man, confused. A strong gust of wind blew past us, and the man lost his balance. I quickly reacted and took a big step forward and grabbed him, pulling him back. But I was pulled over instead. We fell off the ledge together, and the wall spinning. It was 10 floors off the ground. No one would survive if they hit the ground. I swung right arm around as hard as I could and towards the roof of the ledge. Something flew out of my coat. It was a white ribbon I had wrapped around my forearm, with a small spearhead tied to its end. The spearhead wrapped around the metal bar on the ledge, and a few times he tightened the ribbon. It was my secret weapon. I called it my tail. For a moment I allowed a sigh of relief, thinking that we were safe, but the bar couldn't hold our weight and began to bend. I tightened my left fist and grabbed the man's shirt harder. I burned through the last drops of energy inside me with all the adrenaline I had, and forced every single muscle cell to release all of the power. Justice was not something that I only talked about. I threw him up towards the roof. We were quickly moved away from each other in opposite directions. The metal bar finally gave out, and it was torn away from the concrete on the ledge. I began to fall in with it. I could hear the gushing of the wind in my ear. Numerous versions of flashing was in front of my eyes. A horse lamp of my life. A kind of Chinese traditional lamp, also known as the running horse lamp, according to the available historical records, it originates in the Southern Song dynasty, and was referred to as a horse riding lamp at the time. The lamp includes a candle at the center of it. When lit, the heat generated from the candle drives a spinning of the center wheel. The pictures on the lampshade will also start spinning, creating the basic animation. In the early days, the pictures usually depict the general riding of a horse, hence the name, according to, I'm assuming I Ching, I'm assuming I could be pronouncing it wrong. When someone is facing immediate death, one's entire life might flash in front of their eyes, like a horse lamp. In modern days, some refer to something that is stuck in a loop as a horse lamp too, such as a horse lamp news or horse lamp numbers. Okay. I could see my father, my mother, my master, and my big brother who had planted the seed of justice in my heart. I could feel the solid concrete breaking every bone in my body. It didn't hurt as much as I expected though. Then I felt the warm fluids coming out of every part of my body. That should be all of it, right? Hold on. It's not. What am I missing? Am I missing one more? One more. Okay, so cell phone rang. Got that one. What if we swap it out for cell phone hit the ground? Nope. I walked over there. Ooh, it's frozen a bit. That's unfortunate. Bad. I had to decide which one it was. Fire truck finally arrived. Bad. Okay, so now we have to go for twos. Okay. Bad and bad. Oop. We'll get there eventually. We'll go through every combo. So now we have to move on to the threes, which is doubtful because this one is... Right, hold on. So fire truck. Fell the ground, then started to ring. No, yeah. I walk over. What is it? What do you think could it be? That's the one that we're losing, or missing, I guess. I don't know. I'll leave that one to last. We have both the spotties. So many for this one that we haven't done. It just has to be in this order. Okay, cool. I could see the scope of my opponent had dodged my killing shot. Nevertheless, I earned enough time to disengage. Meanwhile, while I was distracted, the redheaded woman had disappeared from my sights. From my sight. I lowered my body and slid down the other side of the slope. Got onto the motorcycle and I had prepared in advance. They would no doubt be enhancing their security after this. I had failed my first mission. I didn't know how to report back to Ray. The noise from the engine echoed throughout the valley, and it sounded like a growl from the upset monster that no one could see, making me feel even more unsettled. Okay. Cool. We've gotten some at least. We've got some endings. The other sniper dropped down insanely when our eyes lined up. While I jerked myself to the side, the bullet didn't go through my eye as the opponent had hoped, but it gave me a severe injury. The right side of my face was burning, and it felt like it was on fire. I lowered my body and slid down to the other side of the slope. I got on the motorcycle I had prepared in advance. However, on my way back to the conclusion, However, on the way back, my consciousness began drifting away. I lost control of the vehicle. The bike tumbled headfirst into a ditch. Blood was mixed with the muddy water of the ditch. It was black and red everywhere. Another sniper. I had not anticipated that at all. I had only myself to blame. Uhura had escaped. Mission failed. You'll get him next time. Okay, cool. The bullet went right through my right eye. I only had one thought in my mind. It just disappeared my skull. Sorry, Ray. Oh, that's a quick one. Okay, nice. And then I'd have to go through this way, I guess. History. How many? We're missing one more. There we go, found it. I jerked myself to the sides. The bullet did not go through the eyes of the opponent at all, but it did give me a severe injury. Right side of my face was burning, and it felt like it was on fire. I lowered my body down again. The motorcycle prepared in advance. However, on the way back to my conscience, it's just the same, isn't it? Mission was a complete failure, but it was fired along my calculated your trajectory, but Uhura was able to drop down and dodge it at the last moment. You know, the sniper must have given her a warning. That's unfortunate. Nothing that gave us what we needed. But unfortunately, I'll have to call it there. Thank you for stopping by, and hopefully I can see you in the next one. With that, goodbye.